Alrighty, today's video is going to be ultra short. Yes, that's right, going to probably be under 10 minutes for today's episode. If you're new here, welcome. I tend to put out videos Monday through Friday and tend to make them a little juicy and long, but I'm actually going to be a little busy this late morning and afternoon, so got to record this one very much in the AM here. It is 09:02 AM. The market is definitely a little red and dicey on this Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like. If you are a SoFi bro or SoFi sister, you are a SoFi shareholder, let me know down below in the comment section. I am a raging SoFi bull. I bought more SoFi shares yesterday. Definitely check out yesterday's video that I posted because Anthony Noto bought some shares on Friday and woohoo! Oh, Anthony Noto bought more shares yesterday. So today is going to be another SoFi video here. I don't just cover SoFi on this channel, but SoFi tends to do very well among my, algorithm on this YouTube channel. Not to mention this channel is relatively new. I'm going to be advertising it among my other YouTube channels probably in the next week or so. So if you are a daily viewer of mine that found this channel organically, sit back and enjoy the roller coaster because we're probably going to be having a lot more stock-loving baboons come over really soon. So I want to talk about the CEO, Anthony Noto. He ended up buying more shares yesterday. Pretty much after hours, he ended up pulling the trigger to buy more shares. So May 8th, he bought shares. This SEC filing came out on the evening of Friday. I was actually very much away from my computer. I tend to record videos a little bit earlier throughout the day. But yes, we did get an SEC filing Anthony Noto bought, and because of that, I actually sold some stock yesterday that I was tremendously up on, and I ended up buying more SoFi shares along with ServiceNow is another company that I cover on this channel. So I added to my SoFi position. I have tens and tens of thousands of dollars now invested into SoFi, and I sleep like a baby. Last night, I ended up getting a solid 7 hours sleep. 7 hours of sleep. Oh, man, I slept so good. I can sleep at night holding close to total shares I have of SoFi, I think is just under 2,300 now. That's about almost 30 grand of stock invested into SoFi. And, yeah, I mean, I sleep like a friggin' baby. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all that I have a tremendous amount of SoFi shares and I'm willing to actually risk my money into a very new style of banking that, hey, maybe SoFi gets bought out by big banks. Maybe JPM says, hey, we don't like this disruptor bank. We're just going to buy them out and kill them. Maybe other banks, legacy banks, they end up converting to fintechs. Who knows? Maybe SoFi's member growth is going to go down, right? Anything's possible. Do I believe that? Hell no. And that's the reason why I am very much invested and very much able to sleep at night like a baby. So Anthony Noto bought more shares on Friday, and he bought shares yesterday. $250,000 each buy. That's a total of $500,000 of his own money. Okay, he's not awarded shares. By the way, coffee cheers. Oh man, love coffee. He's not awarded coffee shares, SoFi shares. We keep things real around here. I don't edit very much because I'm a real YouTuber. So if you do follow along, you're going to be getting real talk. He gets paid a salary and he works hard to meet certain price targets. I've talked about this a lot, that $45 is a big stock comp. When CEOs get the stock to a certain price level, they get awarded stock compensation. However, these buys are on the open market. They're not awarded to him. They're with his own money. So this is something very, very big that a lot of people don't really understand. I have been in stocks where the CEO has not bought shares with their own money, primarily the penny stock market. You have a lot of scumbag CEOs that pretty much just they get awarded stock and they sell their stock. Anthony Noto, he's been buying stock just like I've been buying stock as a retail shareholder and many other people out there on the open market. So this was the official headline yesterday at $16. I believe Anthony Noto said anything below, don't quote me on this, but he did an interview with a couple other YouTubers. I'm almost positive he said anything below 25 bucks he considers to be extremely undervalued. And I mean, yeah, SoFi was trading very rich earlier this year. And now because there are two earnings in January of last year, Q4, and Q1 of this year, hey, their revenue is going up, their member growth, their EPS. Yeah, their guidance didn't go up because of the Federal Reserve. That's really the only, it's not even a negative thing. Their guidance for the year is still friggin' extremely bullish. 30+% growth rates. That's amazing for a growth company. Now, I will say this. There's been a lot of talks about SoFi and acquisitions, and I do want to talk about this relatively quickly. So I am on SoFi's main website, and this is where I get information from. SoFi has not put out a press release just yet about them purchasing some pretty much foreclosed assets. Now, the vast majority of times, you will have a company actually put out a press release, but the assets that they ended up acquiring that you can find on, like, the internet from different websites, they basically pretty much acquired a lot of these assets back earlier this year. So, the thing about it is that it is adding to an acquisition, and that's one of the reasons why their CEO is able to pretty much really buy shares here. But at the same time, it's stuff that we kind of already know in a way. Now, for today, one of the reasons why the market is very much going to be red, in my opinion, is because President Trump basically pretty much kind of really dismissed what Iran proposed as being a peace deal. So now we're basically getting some backward and forth stuff. Oil is now back over $100. We got the VIX up a little bit today. It's honestly just geopolitical bullshit. And I mean, that's not my opinion. That is factual. But what can you do with this geopolitical bullshit that is happening? Well, if you are a long-term shareholder of stocks, you buy the fear, you buy the blood, you buy the dip, you pick up discounted shares for the future. Over the last 6 months, my SoFi total shares have increased, I want to say probably about by like 300-400 total shares because I've been buying the dip. And if you are a trader, well, it's very simple. You buy the dip, you sell the rip. Can you potentially trade SoFi? I mean, theoretically, SoFi from year to date, you're talking SoFi year to date is down by what? Year to date is down by like 50%. Well, I mean, hey, if you're looking to trade SoFi, you're pick and choose your stock. There are so many stocks that are down year to date. We got the software stocks. We got oh boy, wrong stock. That's AMD. Oh man, love AMD. You got Adobe. You got Robinhood. You got Palantir. You even got Meta, PayPal. You got ServiceNow. Let's see. Salesforce. Another friggin' a software SaaS related company. Hims, different market. Celsius, different market too. Like, come on, pick and choose what stock. Like, there are so many phenomenal trading opportunities. SoFi, I am definitely a long time shareholder, and I have a vision for the next 10 years as long as they don't change course, because they're going to be a banking giant. Okay. The last thing that I'll basically pretty much say is that we did get some economical data today. Like I said, again, happy Taco Tuesday. We got CPI on Tuesday, which normally comes on a Wednesday. So CPI, obviously very much more higher than previous months because of oil. 3.8%. And if we go ahead and look previously, 3.3. So this is really no shell shocker to the market because we were expecting numbers like this. And understand actuality that this is nowhere even close to the real inflation in our economy. When I say inflation, because I do tend to get some people actually ask about hey, is this real inflation? No. Okay, our real inflation as a US economy is much higher. Okay, all these reports, like what I'm reporting is literally what is shown on the screen here. But understand that true inflation is very much higher. And that's the reason why your goal in life should be able to be beating inflation. Otherwise, you get stripped out of your money. The vast majority of my net worth is in stocks. And the reason being is because I want to beat inflation. I'm 30, I'm about to be 38, I'm 37 right now. All throughout my 20s, I just kept all my money in a savings or a checking account. And all throughout my 20s, I essentially lost to inflation. I didn't get into the market until Rona in 2020. I was 31 years old. Yes, 31 years old in 2020. And, I mean, hey, my life has just gone up on a friggin' rocket ship since. But I've also been in the market since 2020. I have not left the market. That's also a very important thing. You got to stay in the market even during the tough times. So, to really wrap up today's video, Anthony Noto bought more shares. CPI came in hot, which is just not going to give us any momentum for rate cuts temporarily. But we have a new Fed governor that's going to be coming on deck soon. Maybe his atmosphere is going to be a little different. Maybe he's going to be looking at this stuff differently than a lot of people. If you enjoyed today's episode, definitely smash the like button, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.